It's your boy Young Moolah, man. Always and forever a triple threat.
Hello, once again, welcome to our Triple Threat NBA DFS showcase for January 13th, 2026. It's a Tuesday afternoon. Yes, and we have a 5-game slate on tap today here over on DraftKings. And feeling good. Yeah, coming off of a weekend of, pretty decent games of NFL playoffs, but, a little anticlimactic, many of them. Focus our attention on our NBA plays as we are looking to smash this 5-game slate over here, both on DraftKings, and we're going to do a special draft of the Dog Bowl qualifier over here on Underdog. But to get you started, it's your boy Young Moolah, and we are gentle and blissful, gifted and beautiful, generous and benevolent, and most appreciatively, we are grateful and blessed here at Guidelines to Achieve and Build, GAB Sports, where we build winners and we boost bankrolls. Yeah, triple threat, man. Yeah, you know what a triple threat is, right? We want to just get back to what the basics are. It's that guy. He has the whole package in his arsenal. He's got the handles to be able to dribble, drive, and dish, right? He can just penetrate the defense, do that thing where he draws all the attention, either finish himself or he dishes out because he's one of the best passers as well. You got to be a passer, right? Behind the backs, chest pass, one-hand bounce passes. Magic Johnson, the no look. Yeah, you got to be a great passer to be a triple threat. And lastly, you better be able to shoot the lights out from 3. Yep, you better be able to do it. Yeah, you better be able to just stroke it with the best of them, man. In addition to this triple threat offensive arsenal that you guys have, here at GAB, you got to have the defensive acumen, right? You got to be able to lock dudes up. You got to be able to stay on the court. This is what keeps guys on the court. You got to be able to, play the passing lanes, get some steals, right? Get some blocks, have that length. We love to roster those guys that can do it all. That's why we call ourselves triple threat, right? This show, after being a triple threat, those are the guys that can do everything. Yep, and we love them. So, with that being said, we want to welcome you all, invite you all to go ahead, take the time to like the video, subscribe to our channel, feel free to leave a comment, and definitely follow us on social media at GAB4 Young, the number 4, YUUNG. It's your boy Young Moolah. And yeah, we would like to start off right away to go ahead and bring you our feature segment on the Triple Threat NBA DFS Showcase. And that will be our today's Triple Threats. Welcome to today's Triple Threats for January 13th, 2026. We're coming at you on a Tuesday. Yes, it's early in the week. We skipped Monday slate. A 5-game banger here. Over here on DraftKings 6 that we've outlined here. Starting off with the point guard position. We have Dante DiVincenzo for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who will be minus Ant-Man, which is critical because that opens up a ton of usage for the top players here on this team. Julius Randle, Nasri coming off the bench. We love this Timberwolves side today, but Dante DiVincenzo is coming in hot with the 99-7 with 4 stocks just the other day. Added incentive of a revenge game here. Yeah, he won a championship with Milwaukee. He wasn't really a part of the rotation because I think he was hurt toward the end of the year. But, it's always good to go back to a place where you played before and show them what they're missing, right? And so we got Dante DiVincenzo in this classic revenge game where he's going to be asked to shoulder a lot more of the burden today. And I think he'll want to show those skills off against his former team. Coming in next, we have Trey Murphy. Yes, this guy is your classic gunner, right? This guy gets up a ton of shots, ton of volume, but he's also a lethal shooter with that volume. He doesn't just shoot for volume and just accumulates points because of the volume. This guy's actually a very good three-point shooter. One of the top three-point field goal percentage guys in the league each and every year. And he's playing at an all-star level this year. He's been very consistent, and he's one of the top scoring options for this New Orleans Pelicans team. And he's coming in just a shade under 52 fantasy points per game over the last 4 games. So Trey Murphy at 7,700, your second triple threat of the day. Yes, and we uncovered another guy who we like on this slate, who hopefully will be undervalued today, under-owned. You know, we're always looking for at least someone who can come in a little under-owned, because most of these plays are such smash plays that they won't be under the radar on a 5-game slate. But 5-game slate, you don't worry too much about ownership. But we're going to go ahead and try to squeeze this guy past the masses, hopefully, if he's not named a starter, because that's usually why he goes hidden a lot of times, is that he doesn't usually start. And but they do have several people out today, both top guards, Kobe White, Josh Giddey, both out. And so they will be relying on Ayo Dosunmu to get a lot of the playmaking going for this team. And he's been up to the task lately, and I believe that he'll deliver today, even though it's a tough matchup. They'll be counting on Ayo Dosunmu, and so will I, in today's games. For your Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu, 5,300. Our fourth triple threat of the day, the Goon. He's back. Yeah, he just returned just the other day, just Sunday, I believe. He's returned back to action. They usually bring these guys along slowly. You know, he was out just a little over a week. You know, about 8 days he was out. And normally these guys get 26, 27 minutes. He got a robust 35 minutes. So you have to be encouraged by that alone. And also, we love the matchup. Fitch has never been a defender. And a guy with this type of skill set, the footwork, the touch on the interior, we're looking for a big double-double in his second game back. Alperen Sengun, coming in at 9,100, your fourth triple threat of the day. And finally, the last triple threat we have on today's slate. Yes, Victor Wembanyama. Yeah. Why? Because we're looking for stars and scrubs on a short slate. That's how I usually attack these short slates. Give me the points, right? And Wembanyama is just simply too cheap, coming in at 9,500 for the ceiling that he can offer. I mean, this guy can easily rip off a 75-point fantasy performance, right? You know, people have been a little leery of the minutes, and also the DraftKings, they haven't really jumped his price back up where it was before he got injured. He was over 11K, right? And so now he's coming in at 9,500. Yeah, tough matchup, but there's no Hartenstein in there. I mean, he's going up against another rangy guy, Chet Holmgren. Look for Wembanyama to absolutely crush this matchup. He's been talking a lot of smack against this OKC team. Time to back it up, young fella. I think he can. Victor Wembanyama, 9,500, your fifth and final triple threat of the day. So quick recap for today's triple threats for January 13th, 2026. We're rolling with Dante DiVincenzo in the absence of Ant-Man for your Minnesota Timberwolves, coming in at 6,200. Then we also have small forward Trey Murphy. Or is he a shooting guard? Maybe I will go ahead and say he's a shooting guard. Trey Murphy for the New Orleans Pelicans for your New Orleans Pelicans hosting the Denver Nuggets. We have Trey Murphy coming in at 7,700. All right, and Ayo Dosunmu at 5,300 for the Chicago Bulls, heading on the road to the Houston Rockets. And we're looking for this guy to give us some value on this price, as well as hopefully come in lower owned than and he should be, right? Because he should be pretty well owned given the lack of playmakers that they have and the role he should take on today. But we're hoping he's going to be low on. Ayo Dosunmu coming in at 5,300. And our fourth triple threat of the day, we're sticking with that Chicago-Houston game. And the Rockets have actually kept teams in the games. That's one of the reasons why we're going to look at this spread, minus 12.5, with a grain of salt, because the Rockets are just 4-12 versus the spread over their past 16 games, and that keeps teams in it when they should be getting blown out. And I think the Bulls will put up a good effort here and hopefully stay in the game, because that's been the Rockets' MO. They keep you in it. They don't have that killer instinct. So Alperen Sengun should be able to get a good number of minutes here, come in with a very good fantasy line. And completing our triple threats for today, we have Victor Wembanyama coming in at 9,500 for your Spurs as they travel to OKC in a very highly anticipated matchup where they've owned the OKC Thunder, right? I think they're 3-0 this year against the Thunder. And so maybe they don't win the game, but high intensity game. And look for Wembanyama to put up a good all-around stat line here at 9,500. There you have our 5 triple threats of the day. Keep your ears open for any news that can upset the apple cart here, and you will need to act accordingly on that news. All right. Have a good slate, and see you next time. Peace. Okay, there you have today's triple threats for January 13th, 2026, here on Triple Threat, our NBA DFS showcase. So, yeah, set of plays. We're looking to hammer the top today, right? We want to basically seek out the top plays at the top of the price structure. That's usually the angle, the best road to take on a short slate such as this. 5 games doesn't give us a lot of options, and maybe we roll out a game, and then we're just going to go with the top picks in this slate, the top guys who can give us those points that we're going to need if this is indeed a point slate. That's the only 60 burgers you get today, maybe 3 of them, right? And you better have at least 2 of them in your lineup, if not all 3. Okay, that's the approach today. Seek out high-end fantasy points today, wherever that may be, whoever you choose to land on. We're going to go ahead and build us a lineup and show you how we're going to do it. And also, we're going to keep our ears and eyes open so that we can seek out that ever so elusive value that we're going to need. Review from the last slate we did play, which was last Friday. And over here on DraftKings, and in one of our cash games, yes, we do play cash games, because that's where we can, accumulate some bankroll, and basically, in case we don't do well in the GPPs, you can subsidize that with the cash games, right? So this is a single entry double up. We like to play the single entries. We don't want people running those trains to be able to get like 6, 7, 10 entries, and then they cash all of them and basically mess up the cash line. Play the single entry. Seek out the single entry. Those are the way to go when you want to just enter maybe 5, 10 of them, right? Or whatever price range you want to get at. If you want to just come in at $100, $100. Those are a little tough fields as well. So my recommendation, stick around $25. $25 and below. Seek out the single entries. Enter as many as you feel like you need to in order to keep that cash flow moving. All right. So this was our single entry $10 double up. And we also, since I only play like 4 or 5 lineups, my single entries or 3 maxes will also utilize this cash game lineup here as well. Yeah, you got to throw the cash game lineups into those kind of contests, because your cash lineup has a very high floor normally, and sometimes if it reaches the ceiling, it'll cash pretty decent award for you. And this lineup here came away with 325 fantasy points, which is a very good score for that day. And so we started it off with an Atlanta Hawk. I was very high on this guy, Dyson Daniels. He came in at only 1% in our cash game. I'm not sure why people shied away from this guy, but I loved him that day. And he brought us 57 fantasy points on the day. And we had Kashan George. He didn't really bring much value, but, 26 fantasy points. Kept us afloat. And then we had our homeboy, Hoopy Hammond, for that day was Jalen Williams. As you can see, he's super popular. They were minus SGA and Chet Holmgren. So he came in at 90% and he delivered the goods, right? 50 burger. And then we also had Zion Williamson bringing us a strong 44-point performance. Center Sandro Mamascalavili, 28 fantasy points. And Peyton Pritchard was one of our surprise plays for this particular lineup. He came in at less than 1%. But I really did like that game flow that I was anticipating, and we came away with about a 240 plus total in that game, and which fed right into this type of a build. And Peyton Pritchard smashed with just under 50 fantasy points, and Derek Queen was one of our strongest plays as well. Brought us 58 fantasy points in that matchup against the Washington Wizards, and we had our cheap value play, which was Brandon Carlson, and he didn't really deliver much, but he was able to land us some of these other plays, which got us to the finish line in our cash game. The 300K zone special is a $5 contest. You can reserve your entries into this contest right now, as this ought to be a very interesting contest. We're searching for that ever elusive top prize here. And so, how are we going to get there? We get there by utilizing only the best, only the top dudes in our pool, right? Yes, there's no need to wait. The gong, that big golden dish, right? The big golden dish. We struck it, and we've clicked our heels 3 times, and we're going to make our wish. We're going to see the wizard. The wizard is going to give us our top play of the day. That guy who's just going to go ham, right? He's hamming the day. Ham and eggs and cheese, right? He's going to go hard. Yeah, this guy, you got to have him. If you don't have this guy today, you just might be on the outside looking in. And why? Because with that golden dish, we're going to serve this play to you, the top play of the day. And from that golden dish, on a silver spoon, we're bringing you the guy. He's the goon. Bringing him to you on a silver spoon, the goon. Yes, Alperen Sengun is our top play of the day for your Houston Rockets. And we'll go ahead and put him at the forward slot. All right, so Alperen Sengun, our homeboy Hoopy Hammond, top play of the day against the Chicago Bulls. He's just going to eat up that interior. He's also just recently came back, but we're not worried because they gave him 35 minutes in his return. So we look for Alperen Sengun to put up a monster stat line against that very soft interior of the Chicago Bulls. Let's roll. Alperen Sengun, your homeboy Hoopy Hammond, top play of the day. Very close selection. We did want to go with this guy, who I'm just going to mention right now. We did want to go with this other guy, but there was a little bit of a late news that changed our minds, right? The return of Sadiq Bey brought us off this guy as the top play of the day, but we're still going to use him in our lineups. That'll be Trey Murphy. We definitely want to have some Trey Murphy today in our lineups. And so we're going to roll with Trey Murphy as part of this lineup build as well. And we're going to need to get some value to do what we really want to do with this lineup. And so at the center position, we're going to seek some value. And we're going down to Zeke Naji to give us a little correlation with Trey Murphy, as well as a little salary relief that we're going to need on today's slate. Zeke Naji, 4,300 at the center spot. Also, we're going to need a little bit more value. We want some more value because we want to do something spectacular with this lineup. And so, who are we looking? We're going down the totem pole. And I think we found somebody we like because in that same game, there are some question marks. Christian Brown is out. Cam Johnson is still out. Jamal Murray is questionable. Let's see what's the latest update. Still listed as questionable. And so that brings us to another guy that's going to give us some value. That will be Bruce Brown for the Denver Nuggets. So we're going with two cheaper Denver Nuggets in a very good matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans, they don't play good defense. It's teams like lost on the defensive end. So we'll go ahead and use two Denver Nuggets. Why? Because we want to get up to our guy. Yes, we want to get another big-time player, and we're going with another one of our today's triple threats. That'd be Victor Wembanyama coming in at that late game, the feature game on the slate. I'm sure two high-priced guys, Victor Wembanyama, as well as Alperen Sengun, and that Harrison Barnes. We're not opposed to Harrison Barnes. Isaac Okoro, maybe. Let's see, what has he been doing lately? Decent amount of minutes. Julian Phillips is out. The value's going to be very slim today. Jaden Pickett. Going to go with Davion Mitchell, 4,900. Then we're going to go with, we want to get a Minnesota Timberwolf in our lineup. Jaden McDaniels at 5,800, at least at 46 for the forward spot. All right, let's roll with this one. So we got Davion Mitchell at the point guard spot for the Miami Heat hosting Phoenix. Then we came with one of our triple threats, Trey Murphy III against the Denver Nuggets at home. And we got Jaden McDaniels, one of the Minnesota players who should all garner quite a bit of ownership today in the absence of Ant-Man as well as Rudy Gobert. So we're going to roll with Jaden McDaniels here in this lineup. We have Alperen Sengun as our center and our homeboy who be having top player today. Actually, we put him at the power forward spot, playing against Houston. And then we have Zeke Naji coming in at 4,300. And then we have Bruce Brown. I'm paired up with Zeke Naji for our cheap value plays and also a correlation with Trey Murphy. Then we have Harrison Barnes, another value piece that we needed to get up to another one of our triple threats, as we want to go stars and scrubs for the most part. And we got Victor Wembanyama, so we get the double pay up, 9,500, 9,100 with Wemby and the Goon. All right, so there's our lineup build. Time to jump into a dog bowl qualifier. Yeah, we're trying to get to that live final, man. That's one of our goals. We have yet to achieve this in any of the contests for football or the basketball championships, but we're just going to keep plugging away, man, until we get it. We don't stop. Don't stop, won't stop until we get to the top. We just entered the dog bowl qualifier. Let's see which pick did we get. We have the number 5 pick. Okay. Let's go. Number 5. See our rankings here. We have Jalen Johnson as our number 1 player as we get the later games here over on Underdog. And so has anybody been ruled out who's in my rankings? Nope, nobody who's in my ranking is ruled out. So I went 56 deep in my rankings. Let's see. Let's go ahead and load up our queue. I know we aren't going to get these top picks, but we'll put them in there anyway. Let's see if Wemby can get to us. We really want to start this lineup off with our cornerstone play like a Wembanyama. Let's see. We should get them if they jump on Luka here. Luka, they're talking to possibly not playing. I don't like that talk, especially when you're just trying to join a contest like this. You don't want to pick a first rounder who's going to be ruled out. It's going to put you behind the 8 ball, having to replace the first rounder. And so we're going to go with the sure bet, Alperen Sengun. And we'll go ahead if Luka happens to come to the corner here. Oh, I took Luka. I meant to take Sengun. That's all right. Yeah, mistakes happen. And sometimes when mistakes happen, you can bounce back. We just hope this guy's not ruled out, right? Because I was going to take him in the second round. So we'll be all right. Okay. Thought I was on Sengun, but I was actually looking at Luka. Got Luka at the 5 hole, which could be a very big discount if he's ruled in. And then we have Amen Thompson. We love us some Amen Thompson. He's the definition of our triple threat, right? Yeah. He can't shoot yet, but he does everything else. He's a stat sheet stuffer, the triple S. All right. And now we are looking at our third and fourth picks. Let's see what the board is looking at. So on the corner, a Magic card picks Sengun, Randall. And we wouldn't mind getting one of those Minnesota players today. So let's see what our queue will look like here. Our queue, Jimmy, Congo, Peyton Watson, Naz Reid. I don't think he's going to take 2 Minnesota Timberwolves. I do want to get Naz Reid on the comeback. But I'll tell you who we do really like right here. We do love the Hawks. We're going to take a Congo here against the Lakers. And actually, we want Naz Reid here. Don't think he's going to take 2 Timberwolves. That's what I'm banking on. Let it go, Magic Carp. I'm trying to play you right here. I want Naz Reid to get to me. Let's see. Yep, we got it. We want Naz Reid. That's what we wanted. All right. And now let's see what else. That's why you got to look at the board sometimes, right? To know the sequence of how you can try to get some players. And I didn't think maybe he would probably not take 2 Timberwolves here. Although it's not out of the question. Because on the rebound here, on the comeback, I'm certainly going to have Dante DiVincenzo toward the top of my list. I'll take 2 Wolves right here. And I think he would take them too coming up. So let's go ahead and put DiVincenzo in here. I like DiVincenzo. I like Queen. I like Jaden McDaniels as well. And let's bump Queen up a little bit here over McDaniels. DiVincenzo, Daniels, Derek Queen, and Jaden McDaniels. All right, double D, Dante. We want Dante. All right, let's see what happens here. This guy, he took Klingon. All right, thank you. We'll take Dante. We'll rock that one. Dante and Naz Reid. But we can take some of these Bulls. The Bulls definitely are okay. Fox. De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox or Castle. Which guy do we want? Castle has kind of struggled, especially against this team of late. Going with Fox, man. Let's go, De'Aaron. Turn it on, man. Let's look at the board. So, starting off the draft, out of the number 1 slot, they took Giannis Antetokounmpo, Zion, Trey Murphy combo. They took the teammates, Shaden Sharp, correlated Aaron Gordon, Jaden McDaniels. Very strong lineup out of the 1 hole. Number 2 hole, they took SGA, Steph Curry. A very tough matchup Steph Curry has against Portland Trailblazers, who own the Warriors. Then we have Devin Booker in a good matchup. Jimmy Butler doubled up with Steph Curry. And then we had Jalen Williams and Castle, little correlation as well. And let's see, top stat. We got Jalen Johnson, one of my top plays of the day over here on Underdog. Yeah, we couldn't get to him over on DraftKings because that game's not on the slate. But he got Jalen Johnson. Then he's got Jamal Murray, Chet Holmgren, Vucevic, Dyson Daniels, Caleb Love. Oh, that's a pretty surprise pick. All right, top stat. Go ahead. And we got Magic Carp, who was on the end right after me, took Şengün after I inadvertently passed on Şengün, but that's how the ball bounces. He got Şengün, Rondo combo, and then he backed that up with Peyton Watson, Kevin Porter Jr. Then he got Derek Queen to give some correlation with his Peyton Watson pick. And he's also correlating Julius Randle, Kevin Porter Jr. Then he's got Tyler Herro as his final selection. And our team, out of the 5 hole, we ended up with Luka the Don. We're praying that he's ruled in, right? Take a little chance sometimes. And it was definitely inadvertent, but hey, man, we'll live with it. It's nothing that we can't overcome because he's going to play, right? Both those guys aren't going to sit, and LeBron has been sitting. So, Luka, get your butt ready to play. And then we got Amen Thompson, one of our top plays, as we like Houston, man. We love this kind of dude, especially over here on Underdog, where you get 3 points per stock. This guy can rack them up in a hurry. Okay, Amen Thompson. Then we got Onyeka Okongwu in a game that we absolutely love, correlating with Luka. So, hopefully this game doesn't blow out. If Luka's ruled in, it should stay pretty competitive. Nas Reed filling in for Gobert today, and he should get plenty of minutes. So we actually like this pick here of what the upside can bring. And we also, one of our triple threats of the day actually is Dante DiVincenzo, and we got him in the 5th round. We like that. And then we finished the lineup off with De'Aaron Fox. So there you have our draft for one of the Dog Bowl qualifiers. This is qualifier number 1 over here on Underdog. For joining us on this Tuesday, January 13th, 2026, for where we built a lineup over there on DraftKings. We gave you our triple threats of the day with our homeboy Hubie Hammond, Alperen Şengün, and then we also did a lineup review over there on DraftKings, and which is also very important to keep you guys abreast on how we're doing. Win, lose, or draw, right? We're going to show you. We're going to show you some of the great plays we made. We're going to also show you some of the big misses we had, right? You got to keep it real, right? Full transparency. Then we went ahead and drafted a Dog Bowl qualifier over there on Underdog to give you a little insight on our processes on what we're doing in this fantasy space. And so that will be it for today. We want to thank you for joining us. Please, on your way out, take the time to like the video. And also, we implore you to subscribe to our channel, all right, as we're bringing you content in across the fantasy landscape. We have football. We have our show here, Triple Threat for basketball. And then we also will be doing some best ball coming up. The 2026 season, the pre-draft best ball. Yeah, we're heavy into that as well. All right. And thank you once again. Good luck to you all as you embark on this 5-game slate. So we want to see you at the top of the standings, right alongside myself. All right. Peace.
It's your boy Young Moolah Man. Always and forever a triple threat.